Hey there, it's Jenny, and I am back with another week in the Big Teacher Planner from the Happy Planner, where I make this ultra functional, and I am not a teacher. I simply cut a sheet of sticker paper, 2 inches wide, to cover the days of the week on the left-hand side of the page. I don't want the days of the week to be rows. I want them to be columns, and I want to have all 7 days of the week. So using a strip of sticker paper is very, very easy to do. And then I can redate it at the top of the page. I'm going to use these Cocoa Daisy Days of the Week stamps. I really like the size. I really like the font. These are definite favorites for me. You can find a huge variety of stamps out there, and I love to use a whole bunch of different ones. I'm just using these this week, and I am also using some ink cubes from the stamp market. I will link all of the products that are available down below so that you can find them in case you see something that you are interested in. Now I am enjoying this color. It is a forest green, and it goes well with the Happy Planner sticker book that I am going to use to decorate. I just really thought this felt fun, and so I wanted to capture ink colors that coordinated with it in a way that I really liked as well. Now, to add the dates, I'm going to use these Carrie Bradford stamps, and they are just numbers, as you can see, and they are open. They don't have anything in the center. I have absolutely used these to color in before, and I really love that. I think that it turns out really pretty when you can color in to coordinate with your particular color palette for the week. I'm not doing that today. I am leaving it as it is. I just wanted to do that. Now I am cleaning off my stamps. This is how I personally clean my stamps. There is a wide variety of ways to clean your stamps, including and not limited to scratch or stamping off the excess ink on some scratch paper. That totally works. Or you can use baby wipes that don't contain any alcohol. That works. I like to use this microfiber cloth and a spray stamp cleaner. And the reason I like to do that is because I don't like the waste from scratch paper or baby wipes more specifically. The microfiber cloth has lots of little nubs on it, so it helps get in there and remove the ink really well. And this is something that it just sits in my planner cart. It's always right there next to me, and it's very, very easy to use. I've had great results with this. I've been using this a very long time, and for a very long time before this, I used baby wipes. So there you have it. Now I am also going to stamp the categories down the left-hand side. So the things that I want to sort of designate a row for. So for example, I'm going to do today, which is activities, appointments, things like that. Then I'm also going to, on the top row, have something remember, things that are I need to not forget, or things that are noteworthy, things like that. Then I'm going to have my to-do list, like for my home. Then I'm going to have a to-do list for work items. And I'm also going to have a row for, I would say meal planning, but it's really just dinner planning. So that will be the bottom. Now I'm using a different rust colored ink pad from the stamp market. And I absolutely love this color and don't get to use it anywhere near enough. So any time that I can use it, I absolutely do. So now you can see I have varied the stamps that I used on the column on the left. It would be nice if I had one set of stamps that said all of the things that I wanted it to say. However, I don't. So I have to have some variety there, which isn't really a bad thing necessarily. Now this is the sticker book that I am going to use for my decor. It's very, very cute. It's like a woodland type theme. Not really any woodland creatures or anything, but like woodland, lots and lots of mushrooms. Maybe a bunny or two. Some leaves, a really rich color palette. This was really speaking to me. I thought it was really fun. Although I'm not going to lie, I have a hard time figuring out which ones are the fall ones. It requires a lot of like looking at it because the colors don't really change too terribly much. A handful of the images do though, so it's just making sure that I am picking out fall colors. Now, when I do this, I do start with decorating first, and I do just create a simple visual triangle. I do this because I know in advance the days that I have a lot of plans. So for example, I might know that Monday, like I don't have any like must do, must remember, that type of thing. So I can put something up there. Now I also know that the weekends, I don't usually do to-do lists or things like that. And so I have a little bit more wiggle room, if you will, in my columns. So that's why my weekends end up usually being a little bit more heavily decorated because there's just not as much to talk about. Now I'm going to stamp along the bottom the place setting. Sorry, I like this one a lot because it's a little bit bigger. It fills a little bit more of the box and it's very cute. That's a really old stamp set that you cannot get anymore. The company is actually no longer in business, but the stamps that are still available and that I can find on the internet, I will link up for you below. That would include so far the dates and days of the week, the remember, the today, and then maybe the big D at the bottom. So really not too terribly many of them, but I've been for stamping for so long. I have such an extensive collection of stamps, and obviously I want to put those to good use. All right, so now I will go ahead and just start to write my things in for Monday. And I didn't pre-plan with the plans across the week. Didn't totally seem necessary this week. I will use box stickers when it's possible or it feels good or it's necessary. However, I will say that I don't know, the box stickers really take up some extra room, so I may vary from that and I may ignore the box stickers in the future. This is something I'm definitely newly trying. I did this same idea last year in a bound Erin Condren planner, which I loved, but they didn't do an undated one this year. So because of that, I thought, well, let's try the Happy Planner one. I do like discs, so let's give it a try. I love a bound planner and I love the paper in an Erin Condren planner. So now I'm just on days that have a lot of activities or appointments. I can't use any boxes because I need all of the room. I'm also being cautious or cognizant, sorry, of where I'm leaving the white space because I want to, at the end, if there's nothing that I'm going to put there, I want to be able to leave room for decorations and things. So that's why you're seeing that I am sort of varying or I'm putting maybe a checklist or something like that, just so that I can keep room for any additional decor. Now, I do keep track of the shows that I watch and the books that I read or the audio books that I read in this planner and in my daily planner. I really, really love it for some reason. It really just brings me great joy to keep track of those things. And so you'll see I'm adding those there. I'm playing with the idea of switching up, keeping track of those things by noting them with a colored pen that coordinates with the week. I haven't decided if I'll keep that up or not. I haven't decided that if I don't like the Tuesday, how those are written there because they are so crowded or if it's the ink. But I will just keep notating that as we go. And I don't mean this week necessarily specifically, I just mean like going forward. I will keep track of that and see how I feel about it. I like the idea very much of using colored pens, so I'm hoping that I do enjoy this process going forward. Now I'm still using the mild liners when I'm writing directly on the page for my plans because I like how I'm able to differentiate with using different colors. That really helps my plans stand out and I notice it a little bit more. One thing I want to mention is that, so for example, I don't end up filling in like Monday dinner because I honestly, I couldn't remember what we had. So I didn't fill it in. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, every last thing is just done and all the T's are dotted and all the I's, no, I's are dotted and T's are crossed. It's okay. It's okay if you have a blank space or I have nothing down for dinner on Monday. I mean, we probably ate dinner, right? I mean, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. This is meant to be my functional plans, and yes, it's silly. I can't remember what we had, but it's the truth. So there's that. Now, I like to keep track of work things and home things, and that's why the two columns are so wonderful for me because I work from home. All of the things work together so well. So, for example, all of the things are related in terms of timing and how they get finished and how they get accomplished. And so that's why for me, having them together in one planner really makes sense because my brain thinks of all of these things as like a 24-hour period or a, 17-hour period or whatever of how I can get these things done. So I'm not necessarily always going to want to have a home planner and a work planner. Although some days I really could use a work planner in terms of being able to break things out a little bit more, being able to create more lists, do a deeper dive, things like that. So I won't say that I'll never use a work planner because I would like to be able to have that sometimes. Now, over here on Saturday, I had another box sticker that I was going to add an activity, so I wanted to layer that ever so slightly with the one on Friday to make this all feel sort of cohesive and like a cohesive cluster, especially since that decorative sticker up at the top of Saturday and Sunday did take up a little bit of room over there. Now, I don't have a dinner box for Saturday, and we did go out to dinner, and I wanted to keep track of where we went. So I dug way back in my stash and I pulled out this pizza stamp. And so then I am just writing the name of the pizza place that we went to right there next to it. And that is a great way to take care of this problem that I didn't have a spot to write that down because I did not put the place setting there because as you can see I have the decorative sticker there instead. Now, as I stated, usually the weekends I don't have as much to keep track of, and so I do have a little bit more room. So my son came home from college on Sunday to watch football, and so I had a little bit of room and I could write that and I could do something a little bit more playful there too, as opposed to just writing it like maybe I write the rest of the activities or my lists or things like that. And that's fun and it adds to the overall feeling of each layout as well. So now we're finished, right? So we've got the plans, we've got the activities, we've got the lists, we've got all the things. So now I can go back and I can take all of those empty spaces and I can add some decoration. Now, unfortunately, right here, I forgot to turn the camera on when I added that little strip of washi on the left-hand side, but that's okay. It's just washi, right? We all know about that. And I'm going to add a little decorative sticker as well. Now, I usually work my way left to right in terms of adding the decoration, though I do try to keep bigger chunks. So for example, like Thursday and Friday right there, you see there's a bigger white space. I do typically try to keep that in mind if possible. Like, so not every time is it possible, depending on what supplies I have or just a whole myriad of things. So sometimes I will create a bigger decorative cluster out of the excess space, and sometimes I will just do it day by day, which is what I've done basically for the most part on this particular layout. Now, this sticker book is so cute, and I've really had a great time with it, and I will link it up for you below. And that's really it. I'm just going to add a little bit more, and we are finished. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great